Hello, welcome to another episode of I'm Dying to Tell You. This is Dr. Mark Goulston, and I wanted to talk to you today about whether you have ADD or what I call pseudo ADD. Well, what's the difference? Well, ADD or ADHD is really a case in which your mind is interrupted by your brain. It happens from the inside out. It's tough for you to stay focused. It's tough for you to stay organized. It's tough for you to get a lot of things done because you're always being distracted. I thought I had ADD, but then I realized I did make it through medical school and I made it through a number of other uh, areas where I had to concentrate and follow through. I think I was a reasonably competent doctor. Um, and then I realized what I have is pseudo ADD. And what pseudo ADD is, you're not interrupted by your brain. Your mind is not interrupted that way. What you are is you're interrupted by other people. And often other people who, when they say or they blurt something out to you, you often feel like you better attend to that. You better take care of it. Because if you don't, sometimes they can get a little huffy or upset, or they can walk away. And there's no shortage of these people in the world. And so, what pseudo ADD is, which is something I think I have a case of, is the inability or the difficulty in setting boundaries or being able to say to people, no, I can't speak to you now. Now, what gets in the way of that? Well, as I said, there's often the concern that if you say that, certain people will be upset, and you often think to yourself, okay, I'm already distracted by their getting upset. I may as well deal with whatever they had on their mind. And often that comes from things you may have learned in childhood, where you saw people in a lot of conflict, and you learn to be conflict avoidant as opposed to dealing with things. Now, is there a way to develop this ability? Well, I think if you start to practice, and when someone says something to you or interrupts what you're thinking about, you could say, this is not a good time. One of my other favorite things to say very quickly is, oh, what you're saying is too important to cheat you out of my undivided attention. I can't give you my undivided attention because I'm something else. I'll be able to give you my undivided attention, in 10 minutes, an hour, whatever. And what's really interesting is when you say to someone, this is too important to cheat you out of my undivided attention, sometimes they don't come back because you've complimented them by telling them that what they had to say was important. And a lot of people don't feel that anything they say is important, even though they blurt things out. Something else you can do is to be a little bit preventive or proactive. And one of the ways you can do that is to say ahead of time, or say at the beginning of a day, you could say, oh, by the way, I'm going to be tied up from such and such time to such and such time, or I've got to be totally focused on something because I need to get something done. If you're going to want to get my attention about anything, really appreciate it if you could wait till and then give them another time, later in the day. And then you can even add to that, because I don't want to cheat you out of my undivided attention, which I won't be able to give you because I'm tied up in these other matters. So think about that. Are you someone who has real ADD? Or maybe you just need to learn to be able to say, no, not now. So I hope you find that helpful, and you'll share your comments if you think you have ADD or if you think you have pseudo ADD. Thanks again for listening in.